Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 6th of September, I believe, something like that. We have a busy day. We have a lot to get through. We have a lot to talk about. And the first thing on the agenda is, of course, Bitcoin has lost 56.1 as support this morning, probably about an hour ago. We're down at 55.76. What does that mean? We're going to take you through it in a minute. We're also going to talk about traders remaining bullish even in this downturn. We're going to talk about the golden cross. We're going to talk about scamming your soul wallets. We're going to talk about synthetics on optimism. We're going to talk about Venezuela and having Bitcoin as its reserve currency. We're going to talk about the FCA rejecting 90% of crypto license applications and Catizen. There's a lot to talk about, and we try and do all of this in an hour. Now then, big shout out to Kishan, Hidden Agendas, everybody else in chat. I think Velvet Rope is here. Good morning to you all. Thank heavens, it is Friday. It has been a week of nothing. Nothing has happened. What's happened this week? Nothing. The news has been silent. We've got no major announcements. We have bits and pieces coming in from around the cryptoverse, but really nothing to write home about. So it's been difficult. It's been a hard week putting these shows together because there really isn't an awful lot to talk about. However, we will not be discouraged and we will crack on because there is some stuff to talk about. And I think Catterton might interest a few of you out there, especially the ones that trade on Telegram and have been in NOT, have been in dogs and cats and things like that. So we're going to look at that. So that'll be of interest to you. And like I said, we're going to try and get through as much as we can. Good morning, Eugene. I hope you are okay over there in South Carolina. So Bitcoin then 55.7. It's come down. It's lost another 2%. We are on the slide. Market cap coming in at 1.98 trillion. We've lost $2 trillion market cap. Volume is nowhere. 60 billion in volume. Nothing is happening. Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance has come down a touch. It's down at 70.6%. It's been over 71, nearly 72% for months and months and months. Does that mean that the alts are outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum? Potentially. Look at Ethereum, it's down at 23.50. BNB looks like it's going to lose $500. Solana 128. XRP down at 53.5 cents. Doge, it's not a good period, but we're going to go through that in a minute. What is gaining then? Toncoin is up just a touch. NOT is up. Bitcoin Cash. Doge is up just a touch. And again, we're going to see, as expected, stable coins are in the top gainers of the last 24 hours, which means nothing is happening. Bonk is down 6%. Bitenza down almost 6%. Multiverse ASI is down to $1.06, an absolute bargain. Brett at 6.7 cents, another bargain. ICP at $7, near at $3.60. These are all incredibly cheap prices to stack for the bull run. Now, can they go a lot lower? Absolutely. Dollar cost averaging, if you want to buy a bag of Near Protocol and you've got $100 to buy this token, potentially you've got another 30 days, 40 days to get into this coin. So why don't you spend $10 a week, $20 a week, dollar cost averaging into the likes of Near. There's plenty of other tokens down here you could be looking at. ASI is another big token. Stacks, a lot of people like Stacks. Aave, Pies, Lido. There's a lot of really cheap projects in here that I think are going to do well in the bull run. But as you can tell by the number of people watching today, as you can tell by the number of subscribers and the like, retailers left. This is the boring chop that you get that just washes people out. People have no enthusiasm to listen to crypto news. They have no enthusiasm to be in crypto. They are waiting for the move up. We've said it now for a couple of weeks. October is going to be the takeoff month, the month where we start to see upward momentum. We've still got probably another 4 weeks left of this. 4 weeks to pack your bags. Excuse me. I have a cough this morning. Right then, one thing I have forgot to mention, and that is, if you are new here, please give us a follow. Nearly 163,000 on the board, 37,000 to go to get to 200,000. We've got September, October, November, and December. We've got 4 months minus 6 days to do it. So please give us a follow if you can, and we will crack on with some X-Files. I've also got another article that I want to talk about that isn't in the agenda, that I've put it at the beginning, and that is to do with this golden cross, which I think could signify a potential downward movement. We'll start with Matthew Hyland again. This was the last hope. And remember, we covered this yesterday. We said 56.1 has to hold. We're going to go and look at the chart in a second. Bitcoin has defended 56.1 now for a fair old time. And yes, we've wicked beneath it a few times. But in all seriousness, it looks like potentially it could give way over the next few hours. And let's see if we can get back up. So 56.1, we were covering it all week. It's on the slide. We're now at 55.7. Let's see if we can whip back up. Again, the news is still bullish. The market might not be bullish. The sentiment might not be bullish, but everybody else is. Michael Saylor shared this from last night. We will make America the world capital of crypto and Bitcoin. Donald Trump, who is more and more likely to win the election as the days go by. Again, we covered this yesterday. This is the second or third day now of outflows, and these are not small outflows. $211 million went out yesterday. I think it was 240 or 230 million came out the day before. It's not a good sign, but they come in waves, remember. You will have 9 or 10 solid days, then you will have maybe 4 days, 5 days of outflows. Just bear that in mind. And this has happened this morning. Excuse me. $180 million has gone into an exchange. Now, what do you think is going to happen with that? $180 million is an indication that somebody is going to go and buy $180 million worth of crypto. Good morning, storming the castle. I hope you are well. Right, Golden Cross. Good. The death cross that we had put us on a really decent run. The Golden Cross doesn't necessarily mean it's going to rip us to $140,000. We've got a Golden Cross, and it's the first time it's happened. Now, we don't know for a fact that we're going to rip to the upside. I am starting to get the belief that we are going to start ripping to the downside. So very briefly, what is the Golden Cross and why should you be so scared of it? Well, if you're a vampire, first of all, you will be scared of the cross. Titan of Crypto revealed that a Bitcoin Golden Cross is happening. He elaborated the Golden Cross between the 100 and 200-day moving averages is unfolding, noting that the crypto market has never witnessed this before. He added, if it is successful, it could trigger the most explosive bull run yet. I am not expecting any short-term move to the upside. Remember what we've said. 2020, 2016, 2012, what happened? We pumped in the halving year, October, November and December. We are not there yet. We just need to hang on. Do not fold. Do not give up your Bitcoin. You've got 4 weeks, 5 weeks until we see a change in the narrative. Don't give up. The alts are more than likely, if we come to the downside, we're going to look at the chart after this. If we come to the downside, where are we going to go? 54, 52, 49,000 again, putting a double bottom. We're nearly there. We're at 55,500. It's not like we're coming down from 75,000. We are at 55.6, 55.7. Can 56.1 hold? It can. Of course it can. But we are trudging along. 6 months now we've been in this. 6 whole months of me saying the same thing day in, day out to you guys, trying to get across to you that you don't give up now. If you held from June last year, you are in profits. If you held from March this year, you are down. Okay? There are 2 different people watching this. One who is up 4 or 5 or 6%. One who is potentially down 30%. Okay? We're in the bull run. We are not in the bear market. It would be a different conversation if we were. Now, they're based on the chart. A Golden Cross could send the price to 120,000. Mikey Bull suggested 138 or 150 this bull run. They are not bad targets, okay? They are not bad targets. I have 110, 120 something, and the top end for me would be 240,000, and that is extreme FOMO, nation states buying Bitcoin. It would rip us to that price, but ideally I want to see us get somewhere near 150,000. And for those of you that are new here, my end game is October, November next year. 18 months after the halving, April the 20th would be May, June, July, August, September, October 20th. There or thereabouts, give or take 4 or 5 weeks either side. That is the end of the bull run for me. Now, this golden cross has never happened. When you hear the word golden cross, you automatically expect to think it's a move to the upside. It doesn't mean that. We could wick all the way down. I watched Ben Cowan this morning, and he had 29,000 on his chart. Now, I don't think we're going to come anywhere near that, but Ben Cowan is always going to be more right than I am because he's been looking at the charts a lot longer. I don't think we're going to see 29,000. I don't think we're going to see 40,000. We could double bottom at 49, although the chances in my head of us doing that, negligible. I do think we're going to stay in the 50s. However, these people are a lot more bullish than I am. Mickey has assured everybody the best is yet to come for Bitcoin, suggesting crypto still has enough room to run this market cycle. Of course we have. We have 12, 13 months, 14 months left of this cycle. We've got plenty of time. We are still in the halving year, okay? Everybody that was calling for a December all-time high, why are we going to have a December all-time high? We might have a new all-time high in December, yes, but it won't be the all-time high of the bull run. It's never happened before. It's more than likely not going to happen. Why? Next year, what are we going to have? Maybe Trump in the White House, lower interest rates, the money printer turned on, the global economy with more money in it. I would expect us to be a lot higher this time next year than we are now. Down. Eugene down 70%, 80% cash. And good morning, KB. So everybody is calling for the golden cross to send us to the moon. The chart he shared showed that Bitcoin will get to 120,000 between October and January 2025. He highlights the expectation that the market has for Bitcoin. I don't think we need to read any more of this. What we'll do, before we go and read about the bullish traders, let's go and have a look at the Bitcoin chart, because that's really why we're here. As I've said, it's a really crap week for news. There's really nothing happening. Now, of course, the Oracle, he uses some kind of Sanskrit to watch his charts, some kind of medieval colouring on the charts. I, of course, am an OG guy. Now, I drew this start of the week. Where was this? This was my prediction. I've left it on the screen. Let's see what happens. I've got 100,000 by March. Okay, lots of people, including these guys, are calling for much higher prices. I'm just basing it on that. Now, where are we today? 55.7. Let's zoom in just so you can see where we are. Now, we have some beautiful lines on the chart. Let's get rid of some of these for now. Okay. Don't need that one either. Right, where are we? I mean, and he picks purple. For those of you wondering why I'm muttering to myself, the Oracle is the other half of Crypto Warehouse. He does the trading stream. He trades in black and white, and he trades using purple and greens. And I use, of course, the OG. So where that yellow circle is where we've come down to before. We have whipped down to it in the beginning of July, the beginning of August, and guess what? Beginning of September. So let's just point something out here. 7th of July, 8th of August, and guess what? 6th of September, we're back again, like a bad smell, okay? So what does this mean? Well, there was a few rumours from Dan Crypto Trades who said that we do find either our top or bottom at the start of each month. Now, if that's the case, we're going no lower today, and we have wicked down. Now this white line here is 56.1. This is the bottom of the range. We've gone below that to 55.7, which we're at now, but my line here is at 55.570. Again, give or take $100. We're there. Okay, where did we go last time? This time we came all the way down to 53.5. The August one took us, I mean, people were shouting at me at this point. That took us to 49,000. So where are we going to go this time? First of all, I can't tell you because I don't know for certain. I can tell you that we have previous price points at 52,000, and further down here, if we're going to go super, super bearish, and why not, it's a Friday, then could we come down to this 44,000 range? Possibly. Okay, I don't think so. I think if we repeat what's happened in the last 2 months, which is 7th of July, 6th of August, where are we now? 6th of September, then potentially we should come to the upside and we should start to see this kind of move up. We did predict this, if you remember, when I copied the chart from August over September. We did predict a wick down, and there is a good chance that we could wick down. But we are near the end of this crabby journey, okay? 55.7, 52, 54, 56, what does it matter? It's all in the same range. I will only go bearish if we start to break below this level, which is 44,000. I will go bearish, okay? Because then we are talking about retracing to this level here, which is 29,000, which is what Ben Cowan was talking about in his stream today. So Ben Cowan, worst case scenario for him is 29,000. Worst case scenario for me is 44,000. Okay, can it happen? Absolutely. But look at this range we've been in. It's held since March. And every time, I mean, the psychology of a crypto bro is, it is over. It is so over. It's over. Why am I in crypto? It's finished. Here we go again. It's over. Okay. Conversely, we're going to 500,000. We're going to 1 million. We are going to be at $10 million by September. Okay. That's the problem. We're in the range. We haven't left it. The psychology changes so dramatically within $10,000. At $65,000, I will be telling you that my target is up there towards 74 and then 80. When we are down here, I am showing you where we could come down to, which is 52 and 44. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I am not the TA expert on this channel. That is the Oracle. But we haven't lost the range yet. Let's go into a massive panel. Storming the Castle. Love your channel. Great analysis. Good voice. Solid presentation. The channel is going to be blowing up soon, guarantee. I certainly hope so, because I tell you something, we are dead. Oh, my level shows a bounce off 42 potentially, but you're not wrong to be looking at these levels. Yeah, I think, you know what, if I just double check. Yeah, I mean, 42.7 is just underneath there. It's about there. And again, we talked about the Bart Simpson months and months ago, and the Bart Simpson could take us down there. And we've had that Bart Simpson for a while, and that is my picture of Bart Simpson. So that's where I think we could go. But whatever happens, let's not panic, okay? This, I think, and I don't know, I think it could be my third or fourth bear market, third or fourth bull run. I was here in 2016, just 2020, 2024. Maybe I don't think I was in 2012. So maybe it's my third. However, the psychology is you need to not micromanage the expectation, okay? As KB says, 44k is a weekly. Yeah, again, it could be 44 and it wouldn't surprise me. If we all know that October is the takeoff month, if we all know that, because it's happened in the last three bull cycles. If we all know that, then guess who else knows that? The whales know that. What are the whales going to do? They're going to try and push you down. Okay, they're going to try and push you in this direction. Why? Because if you're a degen, you're going to long. And what's going to happen to you? They're going to liquidate you. They're going to keep liquidating you on the way down. Every single one of these targets we hit, they will liquidate you. Okay, so if you're a degen, stop leveraging. Okay, stop going long. Secondly, they're going to flush you out. They want you gone. They want to get rid of you. Okay, because they want you to sell now, so you buy back in at higher prices and you become their exit liquidity and entry liquidity. Or not entry liquidity, entry prices and exit liquidity. Okay, so they're going to push you down and you're going to quit. And we know you're going to quit because we can see it in the numbers of people watching this channel. Okay, 6 months ago, we were getting 3, 4, 5, 10,000 views a video. Okay, back in March, April, May. Fast forward August, September, we're getting 3, 4, 500 views a video. Okay, we haven't suddenly become rubbish overnight. So they're going to force you to quit. And I am telling you to hold the line. If KB is right and we go to 44,000, you should not panic. Okay, you should not panic. Now then, we're going to move on to this bullish news about, give me 1 second while I bring up what I am trying to bring up. Okay, where are we? This is the bullish news that you're all waiting for. Bitcoin trades under 57k, but data suggests pro traders are not bearish. We have fallen below 56 now, as you can say. The US job market data could hold the answer. It doesn't. I mean, all of these things do affect the price. Of course they do. But you have to understand that these are just opportunities to move the price. In politics, you will pick a big news day to release all of your bad information. You will also pick a bad news day to try and use it to leverage the market. Okay, we always say the Fed interest rate decision is always the biggest day in crypto. Okay, and yes, it is. And why is it? Because they use it to move the price. You should never trade on Fed day. Okay, the market goes everywhere. It's just insanity. Okay, the price of Bitcoin dropped 5.5%. We know about this. Some analysts argue that Bitcoin's bull run has officially ended at 73.7. Now, again, the number of people who... Okay, I am going to stick to the Bitcoin pattern until the Bitcoin pattern breaks. It didn't break in the last 3 cycles, so therefore we can confidently say it's not likely to break this time. If that's the case, then we certainly haven't hit our all-time high. So close. Now, diminishing returns, let's just cut the slack. Diminishing returns, I've calculated very simply, diminishing returns on the Bitcoin price gives us $111,000 as the all-time high this cycle. 1.6 times the previous all-time high, which was 69,000, takes you to 111,000. I worked that out 12 months ago, 18 months ago, whatever it was, okay? 73,000 is certainly, in my view, not the all-time high, unless there is a fundamental problem with Bitcoin. And given we're going to talk about Venezuela, given that Trump's going to create a national reserve, given that Trump's going to come into power, interest rates are going to come down, do we really think that we're going to top out at 73,000? I don't think so. Bitcoin price rallies following the previous halving cycles typically took 5 to 6 months to materialize. Again, 6 months on from April the 20th takes us to when? October 20th. Okay? Miners capitulate between April and October. In general, they sell off because the price, the cost, remember the halving halves their rewards. Okay, they were getting 900 Bitcoin a day, they're now getting 450. So they're getting half the rewards, and the Bitcoin price simply has to catch up so they don't fall too far behind. Some miners get turned off, the unprofitable ones get turned off, the difficulty changes, all of that stuff happens. It takes 6 months. That's October. Okay, we break out 5 to 6 months post halving, 10 months after the M2 money supply surges. Yes, October we have a 23% average. I think we've said, didn't we work out by the end of October we should be somewhere in the region of $65,000 to $70,000 if we do come down. Okay, so again, I'm not calling for $100,000 by the end of October. I'm calling for 65 to 70, which again might not sound a lot, but if we can get into next year between 75 and 80, I think we're going to have a good bull run. And another thing, if you are new out there, I am not going to sit here and promise you the earth for any of your tokens. So unfortunately, I am not a moon boy or a degen bro or whatever you want to call it. I am way too old and grey for that nonsense. So the price below 55, and we could go down to 50, which happened in August. I think we could repeat that. And again, the bullishness comes from time. The time we are at in the market. It doesn't come from a single indicator, like they were talking about the jobs report, or inflation data, or interest rates. All of those things matter, but they are not, again, the world isn't black or white. Bitcoin is not going to $200,000 if Trump wins the election, okay? If the economy is sound, there is money swirling around, nation states adopt it, Trump is in power, Hester Peirce takes over the SEC, we are still going to see companies being sued by the SEC. We are still going to see companies issued cease and desist orders by the Commodities Commission. The world doesn't suddenly explode with unicorns and rainbows because Donald Trump becomes the president of America. But what it does do is it changes the context of how America sees crypto. And whether we like it or not, they are still the noisiest neighbors in the world. And whether we have 90% of the world adopting Bitcoin, if America doesn't, it makes it very hard because they are the noisy ones. So we could see the jobs data helping, we can see the inflation data helping, we can see interest rates cuts helping, but Bitcoin is still going to go on its merry little way to 60%, probably 60% market dominance or thereabouts. So there's no clear signs that Bitcoin traders are turning bearish. Again, there's no reason to turn bearish right now. You're at the end of the skewy period, if you like. And again, we're not going to look at Bitcoin anymore. We've done that to death. What are we, halfway through the show? Good morning, Tariq. I hope you are well. So then, very quickly, now this was an interesting thing that I saw a couple of days ago, and I'm glad there was a news article about it. And this is to do with your tokens being burnt from within your wallet. And I was hoping the article would come out because, like I say, I try to caveat all of this. If you're new to crypto, and I mean you are new to crypto, you will be watching us now either on a crypto exchange, which is fine, or you're watching us on a certain red and white logo platform. Now, if you're watching us on an exchange and you are new and you are technically not very competent, don't listen to anybody that tells you to put your money into a non-custodial wallet. If you have $1,000 in Bitcoin and it's on an exchange, leave it there. If you are tech savvy, you should have your own ledger or Trezor or whatever else it might be, and it should be in cold storage. Now, the one thing you should never do is have your net worth on a phantom MetaMask trust wallet. It shouldn't be there, okay? And the very simple reason is, this happens. You click the wrong link, you approve a transaction or a contract verification or whatever it is in your wallet, and suddenly your wallet's gone. Now this is a different one. It was burning the tokens in your wallet. Now, you're not going to be able to read an awful lot of this. Many users have reported observing tokens disappear without any reason. They did not approve any transaction or click on malicious links. It might sound strange, okay? There's an explanation for it. Slorg, a member of Jupiter's protocol, working group took to X. Scammers have found a way to burn tokens inside your Solana wallet. After the moderation staff looked into it, something stood out on the SolScan page. There was a burn transaction 7 seconds after the user had received the tokens. They further explained this occurrence is due to permanent delegate extension being active on the tokens. This is a legitimate feature Solana introduced in 2022 to ensure protocols could retrieve tokens transferred by them or their users by mistake. It allows projects to retrieve tokens from wallets associated with illicit activities to comply with regulations. However, it could be misused. Now, there is a precedence for this. I've seen this before. For example, Star Atlas, big Solana community, mentioned it before. They can freeze your NFTs. So if you've got a spaceship and you've stolen it from somebody, they can freeze that asset, and that asset is gone. USDC, USDT can freeze your stable coins in your wallet if you have carried out illicit activities. So this isn't new, okay? This goes on, and it's just part and parcel of what's going to happen if we want to get partnered up with TradFi and get regulations and get adoption. So you have to accept it. Not every cryptocurrency is made the same. Some of them allow you to freeze the token. Now, in this instance, it's not handy. The burning of tokens does not net anything directly for the scam projects. The tokens are gone forever, leaving token issuers who mint the tokens from gaining nothing. One theory floating around the community is that some scammers want to watch the world burn. As token issuance on Solana has become effortless through applications like Pump.Fun, they create projects to sell tokens and burn them immediately to prank the buyers. Another theory indicated that scammers could be doing this to reduce the supply suddenly and drive up token prices. That way, they profit more when they ditch the project entirely to pull the rug on token holders. Now then, I've said this before. I know the regulars know a lot about this. If you want to get into meme culture, my advice is simple. Do it through an exchange, okay? Don't do a pre-sale. I don't care who it is, okay? I don't care if it's Iggy Azalea. I don't care if it's the King of England. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I don't care if it's a man on the moon. You're going to lose your money. Don't pre-sale anything. If a coin is on your exchange that you are on now, it has gone some way in terms of market cap, in terms of being vetted and doxed. It's gone some way and gone through some of the vetting process. That doesn't stop them from being rug pulled. We saw, I think it was it SHIB or Pepe founders, they stole trillions of the tokens or billions of the tokens this year. It can still happen, but it happens less. You don't hear of too many tokens on exchanges being scammed. So my advice is simple. Go, by all means, and have a play on Solana. Go and use Camino Finance, go and use Radium, go and use Orca, go and use Jupiter, go and have some fun, but do it with $50 or $100. Okay, don't do it with your life savings. Keep that on an exchange, keep it safe. And these things happen all the time, and sites get hacked, wallets get hacked. They've now found a way of burning the token straight out of your wallet. You click the wrong link and it's finished. So just be careful. Now then, two projects I quite like. I don't hold any synthetics, by the way, but I do hold, I don't even know, maybe about 40 OP, if that. Synthetic expands to Optimism Superchain with new app chain. So synthetics create synthetic versions of, I suppose you could call them real life stocks. Optimism is a layer 2 on Ethereum. So it seems as if what synthetics want to do is basically expand across the cryptoverse, which is a fine and noble thing to want to do. So DeFi Protocol Synthetic is set to launch its new app chain, Snacks Chain, within the Optimism Superchain framework. This Snacks Chain is designed to act as a central platform for governance and protocol management as Synthetic grows across different chains and layer 2 solutions. So again, when I made a video about real world asset tokens, and I had the usual crowd in there. We had Ondo in there, we had Mantle in there, I think we had Maple Finance, we had a couple of others in there, and Synthetics made it, I think, onto that list. I think there was about 8 tokens on it, and Synthetics is worth going to look at. Go and have a look at it, do your own research, of course, and it's not a bad token to hold, in my opinion. The leverages optimistic rollups on Ethereum to cut transaction fees for decentralized apps and is overseen by the Optimism's Collective DAO. Additionally, Synthetic is entering a new phase of governance with new councils being nominated through Snacks Chain. So again, not a big article, but again, what do we want? We've said it before, we want regulation and adoption. The third tenet that we've now added to that this year is, of course, we want interoperability. We want all the chains to talk to each other. We want all the good projects to be on all the different chains. We've seen Ondo moving into Solana with its USDY and some of its other things. We're now seeing Synthetics start to spread its wings across different chains. It's what we want to see. We've seen AgLayer. We've now seen Matic become Pole. We've seen the industry start to move together. One thing I think the industry is crying out for is a single wallet, like the One Ring. Okay, a one ring to rule them all. And we did a project, we covered a project called Cycle Network, probably 3 months ago now. And that was like the One Ring. It was one portal that connected all of your wallets together so you could see all of your assets, and it allowed you to combine them. It was a pretty good project. Cycle, I think it was called Cycle Network, that we covered. Right, remember, if you are new here, give us a like and make sure to give us a follow. That is important. Where are we up to now? 11:38. We've got 3 things to cover. We'll move on. I wasn't looking at the Synthetics chart, but it's going to look like everything else. It's going to be down and to the right at the minute. Now, again, I'm not going to say I told you so, but this is what we said here a month ago when Donald Trump stood up at Bitcoin 2024 and said that America was going to create a national reserve of different assets, and one of those was going to be Bitcoin. Then it was mentioned they were going to be buying, was it 500 Bitcoin a day for the next 3 years if he gets into power. That was the plan. Now, I said at the time, this is going to be copied by every smaller nation, and they're either going to front run him or they're going to do it after he's done it. We now have Venezuela, the opposition leader, of course, it's always the opposition leader, looking to introduce Bitcoin as a national reserve in Venezuela. Okay? So Maria Corina Machado, and I hope I've done her name justice, announces her plans to use Bitcoin as a national reserve asset similar to US President Donald Trump's recent endorsement. In an interview with Alex Gladstein, Chief Strategy Officer of the Human Rights Foundation, Machado explored Bitcoin's potential role in mitigating their economic collapse. Again, the scale of how Bitcoin and crypto can change the world is not black and white. We've said this before. If you live in Sweden or a high trust, high value nation where the standard of living is very high, you will see minimal impact on your life. Okay, maybe your train ticket or your season ticket to watch Aalborg is an NFT. Fine. If you are at the other end of the spectrum in a country which has terrible inflation, a terrible economy, then you're going to see more of an impact of crypto if it is adopted in those nations. And holding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, what it does is it won't just hold value against the Venezuelan economy, it holds value against Bitcoin, which is a more stable asset, believe it or not, than a lot of the smaller nations. Argentina, Venezuela, I think Turkey's had raging inflation. There's lots of countries where inflation is just completely out of control. Bitcoin should be able to stabilize those nations. And as we said time and time again on this channel, it's going to go from degens to retail to corporate to nation states. That was the path that I thought it was going to take all along, except Trump, maybe with the persuasion of people like Robert Kennedy and Michael Saylor, we now seem to have jumped to nation state reserve assets. And that's the end game. The next question then is, are we going to see some kind of computing power war in the future where nations compete against each other to mine Bitcoin? Potentially. So the national currency crisis, once stable at 3 or 4 units per dollar, has lost 14 zeros in 2 presidencies. Noting that inflation has reached an unimaginable 1.7 million %. Prices for basic goods doubling every 2 days. Since 2016, inflation has reportedly surpassed 8 million %, prompting millions of Venezuelans to flee the country in search of stability. During the interview, Machado emphasized that many Venezuelans have turned to Bitcoin as a lifeline during this period of hyperinflation, using it to safeguard their wealth. I mean, if you think about, I'm not going to bring up the Venezuelan, is it peso against the Bitcoin price, because it's just going to be a straight line down. I think it's a good move. I think any small country should do that. We've seen El Salvador, they have been doing it now for a year. They've been buying 1 Bitcoin every day. They've now got, 550 Bitcoin. Again, when that goes to potentially $1 million per Bitcoin, they're going to be a very wealthy nation, and they're going to be able to borrow against that Bitcoin. Machado asserted that Bitcoin donations are immune to seizure in the country, positioning the cryptocurrency as a crucial element in their campaign. Again, it's a solid idea. I think any small country and any country that has hyperinflation should be looking at a stable asset. In the past, of course, it was gold. Nowadays, it is a lot easier to just hold Bitcoin, and Bitcoin over time will become more stable. So then, how long do we have left? 15 minutes. And 2 things to go through. 90% of crypto firm applications have been rejected by the UK regulator. The Financial Conduct Authority says only 4 crypto asset businesses successfully registered. So what does that mean? 36 failed? Well, the UK doesn't seem to be warming to crypto. A report released on Thursday by the Financial Watchdog said that nearly 90% of applications from firms were rejected over the past year. The reason: inadequate protections against fraud. What do they expect? You can't rock up in the UK without AML and KYC procedures. You can't rock up and try and build something that doesn't keep a record of where financial transactions are coming from. The UK wasn't born yesterday. Of course they're going to be rejected. The bar is as high for crypto in the UK as it is for banks and building societies and other financial companies. So I think what it is, it's a litmus test for crypto companies to show that, very simply, 90% of them just don't come up to muster. It's not like America, where there's potential political reasons behind the rejections. These are being rejected solely on the fact that they don't know what they're doing. 87% were rejected, withdrawn, or refused for weak money laundering controls. The FCA regulates financial services firms and financial markets in the UK. The body added it had introduced new rules, so firms promoting crypto must do so in a way that is clear, fair, and not misleading. 35 applications, 4 were successful, 15 were withdrawn, and 9 were rejected. We have rejected submissions that didn't include key components necessary for us to carry out an assessment, or the poor quality of key components, meaning submission was invalid. It said that it issued 450 consumer alerts against firms illegally promoting cryptocurrency in the first 3 months of the rules going live. We continue to play a leading role internationally, shaping the global standards on crypto, sustainability, and non-bank finance, to name a few. Again, what do they expect? Really, you're not going to turn up at the UK. If you were to pick, what are the top 3 financial locations you would want to have your company if you wanted to show it had a gold standard? Well, I think New York City would be one of them. London would be another. And then maybe you would be looking at, I don't know, maybe Hong Kong, Singapore, maybe you'd look at Paris, maybe you'd look at, is it Frankfurt in Germany? I'm probably going to miss somebody out there. But you want the gold standard. You're not going to pass by turning up with some flaky application forms. You're just going to get rejected. It said then 15% of the 35, they just walked away because they knew they couldn't do it. If you're going to offer a financial service and you expect one in the UK because it damages the reputation of the UK and America and Singapore and Hong Kong and everything else like that, so they'll get hit. And that's the point. That is what we want. We don't want different rules, but we have to abide by the existing rules. I don't know what's so difficult to understand about that. If you have a company that takes the passport, utility bills, address details of its clients, and you store them in the right way, and you do anti-money laundering checks, you do KYC checks, and it's all above board, then guess what? You're going to get a license. If you turn up and allow people to connect a MetaMask wallet and transfer tens of thousands of dollars without anyone knowing who they are, you're going to get booted out the door. It is simple. Now then, the last element, and we're going to get to the end of the show early today by the looks of it, which is good. Telegram. Katizen sets token launch date as pre-market trading expands. The Telegram puzzle game Katizen will launch its token on the open network this month, very close to the Hamster Combat and Rocky Rabbit drops. Never heard of Rocky Rabbit, but look at that. Isn't that cute? Who doesn't like cats? Well, I don't like cats. I prefer dogs, but that's not the point. Caveat to every single one of these tokens: if you get them, sell them. Okay, if you get this token, I'm going to show you an example. Before we go, we've got time. I want to explain something about gaming tokens. Gaming tokens are not a store of value. They will never store their value, and they will go to zero. Okay, now this is not coin. And not coin, if I draw a nice line for you, not coin, well, I don't even know where, should we take it from there? There we go. Not coin has gone from what? 2.3 cents. Today, it's lost 66, if not more, of its value. Okay. If we go and have a look at WAGMI, which I know is one of the Oracle's favorite tokens, look at that lovely white line that we drew there. Okay. WAGMI had a couple of pumps when social media influencers promoted it. It is now at all-time lows. Okay, it can't go any lower. What's it lost? It's lost 90-odd% of its value. Okay, why do gaming tokens not work? And I'm going to say this before we look at Katizen, because it's not fair on Katizen. Gaming tokens don't work because they are emissions-based. They emit tokens. So there is a constant sell pressure on gaming tokens. Nobody would ever accumulate these tokens unless there was an absolutely valid reason to do so. And we can talk about Star Atlas, which we like. We can talk about Neon Heroes, which we like. Their tokens are all going the same way. You need a reason to not sell. So if you play a game for an hour, and let's say you play not coin or not or dogs or cats, you play these games for an hour and you earn a couple of dollars. Why wouldn't you sell the token if you know it's going to do what's on the screen in front of you? Because that $2 in 4 or 5 or 6 months' time is going to be worth 10 cents. So you would sell it. And that's what everybody else does. There is no reason to hold these tokens. Zero. Now, we always bring up Fortnite. Fortnite is a freemium model game. It's the OG, it's the big one. And if you play that game, you can afford the season pass if you stack your tokens and you exchange those tokens for the season pass. Nothing in Web3 right now is doing that because they are not capable of doing it. So my very simple advice is, if you are into these Telegram games, if you are playing these click to earn games or puzzle to earn games, whatever it might be, sell every last coin, because that $50, $60 that you had last week in Notcoin is now worth $20. So why didn't you sell it at the start? Was it greed? Did you think it was going to go to 10 cents? Did you think you were going to make $1,000 out of a free game that's on Telegram? Because none of that makes any sense. So you sell them, okay? And that's not financial advice, but I can show you any chart of any game and it will all do the same thing. Want to see Star Atlas? By the way, I'm not knocking Star Atlas. I'm a big fan. Look at Star Atlas. Okay, let's go back to the weekly chart. This is Star Atlas, which is probably the AAA game on Solana. And it's going to take me a long time to do this, by the way, because the price was very high. Okay, so this is Star Atlas, a game that I think is brilliant. There you go. That is what Star Atlas did. Okay, it's never going to go back up. It is never going to go back up here. This is dead. Okay, there's a tombstone with a pair of eyes. Okay, it's a ghost now. It's a sad ghost. Star Atlas is never going to go back up. Does that make it a bad game? No, it doesn't. So every single Telegram game that you play, you should sell those tokens on day 1 or day 2 or day 3, around that time. What you shouldn't do is hold them, because they're going to lose value, and I don't want you losing money. I'd rather you make your $50 and move on to the next one, because there'll always be a next one. It's Catizen today, it will be Doggerzen tomorrow, it'll be Hamsterzen the day after. There's always going to be a new one, and it's always a new one to separate people from their money. And you see people buying you see people buying dogs. They are down 66% in 2 weeks from buying these trash coins. They're gaming tokens, they're emission-based tokens, they're going to zero. There is no reason to hold these coins. In the bull run, in peak FOMO, they will go up in value. Everything will. But they're never going to go to 10 or 15 cents. Ever. So just be careful. So this is a Telegram-based puzzle game. Its token will launch on September the 20th, following delay that pushed its Catty token, which will be minted on the open network, out from its original July target. Sorry, my phones are making a lot of very strange noises today, and I have no idea why. So a couple of exchanges will be listing this token on September the 20th, 2 weeks from today. Tokens are going to be spot traded once the token generation event takes place. This is different than offering pre-market trading on a token. The Telegram mini app rose in popularity due in part to the promise that in-game progression would lead to a portion of an upcoming airdrop. With a token launch date now set, it is likely we'll see the airdrop place either on the same day or soon after. So there you go, September the 20th, this is going to happen. Earlier this week, Catizen teased a big event or announcement to take place on the 21st. Some players assumed it would be the token launch itself, but it could refer to when the airdrop claim opens for players. News of the token listing broke just hours after pre-market trading for Catty. We're not going to mention those names. At the time of writing, it is trading at 43 cents, with 46 to 53 cents. The purpose of pre-market trading is to allow people to speculate on the eventual price of the token. However, that can be even riskier than trading oft volatile gaming and meme coins, since tokenomics and airdrop allocations may not be fully disclosed. So again, just be careful on these types of tokens. It's not going to end well for any of these tokens. It's just not. They are all trash, okay? And I am yet to see an example of a coin that goes up in value. Let's very quickly have a quick look at Nyan Heroes, because I've not looked at this, to be honest with you. And again, I'm not bashing the projects. Let's be very clear. There is a difference. What's it listed at? What is the Nyan tokens? Nyan Heroes token price. So it's called Nyan. So where is it listed? Let's go and have a quick look. So if we go over the last year of this token, okay. So Nyan Heroes opened at 30 cents in June. And I have high hopes for Nyan Heroes, by the way. I think it's a really good game. It's come down to 7 cents. So that's lost less than 80% of its value, in all fairness. Now, I'm bullish on this project. I think this is a really good project. I don't hold any, okay, apart from the airdrop that I got whenever that airdrop came out. Was it in July? We covered it. I'm bullish on Nyan Heroes as a project. The total supply is 1 billion. It's not a super high circulating supply token. I think the market cap of the project is 80 million. I think that's very low. It could very well go a lot higher in terms of market cap. There's only, what, 15% in circulation, whatever it might be, 13%. I think the token price can go higher, but that will be based on the popularity of the game when it comes out. However, even with a solid game like this, you are seeing this kind of price action. They are doing something slightly different. They are going to do staking, locking your tokens up, where you can get the season rewards, all the stuff that's in Fortnite they're going to try and do. So maybe this will be one of the exceptions. But as a rule, if you were to buy these types of tokens, this would be the price to buy it at. Okay? The same with Notcoin. Notcoin, which I personally wouldn't hold any of, if Notcoin introduced the same types of features as Fortnite, Nyan Heroes, all of those kind of things, then you'd see the price recover. So it's gone from 2.3 cents to less than a cent. If they started to introduce staking or season rewards or bonuses or whatever, where you lock away your Notcoin, then yes, this could recover. But it's not done that. And that's the issue with tokens like this. So just be very, very careful. Now then, we are at the end of the show. Let's very quickly go and have another check of the Bitcoin price, see where we are. The Oracle IC has been sneaky and logged in while we have been streaming. I think we are coming back towards the 56.1 level, which would be great if we could hold it. Remember, small recap on Bitcoin. It would be great to hold 56.1 and 55.6. It would be great to do that. Okay? We got, again, higher low, potentially. But if we do come down, do not be surprised if one of these two levels is reached. I think 52 is a good level for us to come to. It might not be 52. We might come further down. 51 and a bit, 52. We might come down to 44. It doesn't have to happen. We could get a short squeeze. So if we very quickly go and look at funding rates. Is it funding rates? I think that's what it's called. If it's negative, then we could see a move up today. It was only a touch negative when we looked at this 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Right, so the funding rate is positive. So again, I'm expecting potentially more moves to the downside. 52,000, something like that maybe. But anyway, this is the last stream of the week. I am more than likely going to be back on Monday with the Oracle. I think we are going to be making a few videos this weekend as well. I'm thinking of doing a couple of humorous videos because we're not getting the views at the minute, so why not have a bit of fun? So we might make a few videos this weekend. We do stream Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. We have 2 evening streams, 7 streams a week at the minute. We did 3 streams yesterday, 11, 1 and 9. It was quite a tiring day. Storming the castle, eyeing 52k with a likely bounce up to chase out those deeper short positions. Time will tell. Exactly. The one thing that I don't have on this machine is bookmap, whereas the Oracle does, and the Oracle can go and have a look at that in more depth for us, but I don't have that on here. So anyway, until Monday, have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us, Storm the Castle. Great to have new people in chat. Thank you to Jabir, Tariq, thank you to Kishan, Hidden Agendas, all of the regulars that are in here as well. Hope I haven't missed anybody. Eugene is in here. Have a great weekend. Remember, go and smell the fresh autumn air. Go and try and relax this weekend. We are nearly there. 4 or 5 more weeks and we should start to move up. And if we don't, then I'm just going to be as depressed as you guys are. Anyway, have a great weekend. Take care.